Hi, everyone. So a lot of people will ask me, my clients in coaching will often come to me to say, I need clarity. I need clarity. How do I get clarity about what I'm meant to do? There's all these options. I can tell you the pros and cons of each thing, but I just don't know what I'm meant to do, right? Also, this fits into what is my life purpose? How do I know what I'm meant to do? So in order to have clarity, we need to know how to get feedback from ourselves. We need to know how we operate and what is the process for making a clear decision. And in general, from a macro point of view, I use 5 sets of coordinates. There's head, there's heart, there's gut, there's Torah, which is a map, an external map, and there's a mentor, which is an external person. And so with those 5 things, head, heart, gut, map, and mentor, I can have confidence that I'm going in the right direction. Now, we don't always need all 5, but they're the places to draw feedback from in order to make a decision and have clarity. So I want to zone in on 2 of those right now, which obviously with clients, I walk you through how to get clarity on all those things. However, and people are stronger at different things. So you might be naturally easily able to get feedback from your mind, but not as easily from your heart. Or you might be easily in touch with the heart, but you can't get feedback from your gut, right? And there might be different strengths that you have that make you lean towards even preferring feedback from one source rather than multiple. And that's where people get stuck. So I'll have a lot of clients, let's say, who are very cognitive, and they can think through and rationalize and evaluate and analyze, and they can give you all the rundown on all the options. Excuse my dog. But they can't tell you what speaks to them, right? Because they're not in touch with the heart as much. They don't get that feedback from the heart. What speaks to me? And that's really important when it comes to your life, right? That's part of the decision-making process. So I want to talk about the head and the heart for a minute, because they're 2 different frequencies. Imagine them completely different frequencies, and they give you feedback and data from both those frequencies. And in order to make the right decision, you need that data from both of those frequencies to know, is this right for me? Is it right for me at this time in my life, right? Whatever that decision is, it could be a job, it could be getting married, it could be who knows what, moving somewhere, right? And the way we do that is we tune in to our head and we tune in to our heart and our feelings. And it doesn't mean the feelings are true on their own, right? Because sometimes that's a different problem, that people make their feelings the whole truth. They're not. They're just a part of the picture, and we need to be able to gain and get information from them. So a lot of times people don't like to feel, right? They don't like to feel. They're feeling, especially uncomfortable feelings. Feelings are bad, or feelings are unpleasant at best, right? I don't want to feel unpleasant feelings, so I'm just going to push it down. I'm just going to ignore it. I am ignoring those feelings, and I am just powering on with my Netflix and my ice cream, and I don't care, right? So that's very nice. You can do that. However, it doesn't give you the feedback. You rob yourself of that information. And that feeling, that frequency, is trying to guide you. And what happens when we ignore it too much for too long as a pattern is it turns into a dis-ease, a sense of dis-ease inside of ourselves, which it turns into, eventually can turn into dis-ease, right? Meaning there's an anxiety that's produced internally when I disconnect from myself, and I will feel that anxiety as a pull. It's like a signal to get my attention to reconnect internally. And this is the month for absolute reconnection. Elul in the Jewish calendar is a month where we get extra divine assistance to help do this returning to my essential whole self called tshuva, right? Where I can then reconnect with my fullness and my full self. In order to do that, I have to look at all the parts of myself that I'm ignoring, that I'm pretending I don't see, that I don't want to see because I think they're bad. And when we judge them and label them, they just get lodged down further, and we create more disconnection inside and more distance inside from ourselves to ourselves. And that distance is painful. People don't realize it, but that distance is painful, and it also gives me lack of clarity. So if I want clarity, I want to connect with all of myself, and I want to go in a certain direction with all the information that I have. So we don't need to be scared of feelings, and it's just energy and emotion, and it just needs to come up and out, and it will on its own, as long as you let yourself just have it, right? Own it, have it, feel it, and it will just move up like a wave and come out of you. But what it will do in that process, it will give you information, it will give you feedback. And it will tell you, I like this, I want to go towards this, or I don't like this, this scares me. And if it scares me, let me process that fear so that I can let the fear move through and then make a decision, is it the right thing? Because so often if we feel scared, we'll make the wrong decision to avoid the fear. And every time I ask my clients, do you want to be someone who makes decisions from fear? Obviously, everyone would say, no, I don't. But yet we do that so often. If I feel scared of something, I'll run away from it rather than feel the fear and let it move through me and then do that thing anyway, because now it's clear it's actually what I need to do. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that you can start by starting to look at which parts of myself am I avoiding? Which parts of myself am I ignoring? Why am I ignoring those parts? Is it because I don't like the feeling, or is it because I'm judging myself that if I have this part, it means X, Y, Z, rather than it doesn't? I just be curious. Oh, that's interesting that I have this part of me. Let me look into that more. Let me sit with it more. Let me be curious about it more. And the more you create space for that internally, the more it will just shift and heal, because the body, the mind, the soul, it knows what to do to heal, right? Just like when you get a cut on your hand, you don't sit there doing anything to it. You just get out of its way. You make it clean, you get out of its way, and it does its thing. So too internally, right? What's true on the physical realm is true on the emotional and spiritual realm. If we just allow for that container internally of just experiencing whatever we're experiencing and like just letting it move through us, it will just naturally heal and integrate. And it's when we don't do that and we get in our way, and we keep things stuck by pushing them down, by avoiding them, ignoring them, pretending, right? Creating all sorts of rationalizations rather than seeing what's really there. We stick in the familiar and the safe mental frequency, the mind frequency, and we analyze and we come up with all sorts of reasons. And what we do is we ignore that whole deeper realm. And that deeper realm is so important, the emotions, the sensations, because they're often also expressing aspects of the subconscious mind, the part of the mind that we're not aware of, that's expressing through the body. And really, we all yearn for wholeness and we all yearn for completeness. And that's really the direction that we need to go to have more clarity. So may we all have a productive month, a beautiful, deep healing month, and be in the best place we can be for the new year.